How's everybody doing today? I'm Dr. Ortiz. I'm going to try to speak up a little bit because, of course, I'm wearing my mask. One of the most important things that we can do right now during our pandemic. We're in a crisis in the world, and just to let everybody know, we're all going through this together. So I know that people are feeling a little bit boxed in. Some people are feeling depressed. People are feeling like they're just not able to get out. They're not able to be themselves. And in fact, in some part, that's true. But the whole world is going through this. So I just want to assure everybody that first and foremost, you're not alone. We are all suffering, including myself. We're all managing through this, and it's a very manageable thing. How we get through it is a myriad of things. There's a whole lot of ways that we can find comfort during this time. I first want to talk a little bit about stress in general. Stress comes in many different forms. So we've got mental stress, we've got emotional stress, we've got physical stressors, we've got health stressors, and these are all working together at the same time. Some of the things we have control over and some of the things we have no control over. So one of the most important things about understanding how to manage your stress is first and foremost to acknowledge it. It's okay to give yourself permission to feel the way that you feel. First and foremost, you're not crazy. You are feeling what you're feeling, but that doesn't mean that we can't manage the stress. We can't control it all, but we can manage how we let the stress affect us. There are some basic tenets of that, and there's some obvious things. I should probably let everybody know I'm a naturopathic physician. I'm a board certified, licensed naturopathic physician here in the state of Arizona, and I follow the principles of naturopathy. I was blessed to be educated by some of the elders of the profession here in the United States, and I am a human being and I've lived my life. So I'm going to let you know that stress is not about avoiding it, it's about managing it. There are certain things we can control, certain things we can't. So our job situations are relative control. We live in the real world. We can't just leave our jobs. We can't just leave these relationships that we're struggling through. But what we can do is we can communicate. We can communicate in these relationships. We can find ways to just let off our steam. Talk to your partner, talk to your boss, talk to your children. This is a great time to reconnect in the world. Remember why you started that job, why you wanted that job, why you wanted to be with that person, why you wanted to have children. All these things that are boxing us in and making us crazy and making us feel overwhelmed, and why did we buy this house that we now feel pinned down by finances and all of these things. Find the initial joy in whatever it was that brought us to this place, because you wouldn't have started it if it was bringing you all of this stress. So at some point, whatever it is that's causing the stress was making you happy. So try to get back to the essence of that. In the interim of that, I have a note up on my wall, and it says to breathe. It's there not just for my patients, but it's there for me. One of the simplest things that we can do every day, all day, is just to remember to breathe. So I'm going to take a break here and just take a deep breath and just breathe and relax. Breathe from your belly. So you'll notice that in nature, animals and babies stomach breathe. And so you breathe in, you should fill your belly, and you breathe out, squeeze it in. That's a real breath. Don't breathe from your shoulders. Don't breathe in your air like this. Breathe in right from your belly, right in here. So it's just letting it out, right? Everybody kind of knows the picture of the Buddha, and everybody thinks the Buddha is really big and overweight. The Buddha is not big and overweight. The Buddha is full of energy. The Buddha stores his energy right here in the belly, in this area where his nature energy is held, right? And so you breathe in the air, the natural energy. So breathe in, relax your shoulders, and just breathe. Every time you feel a little bit stressed, it's okay to just, I tell myself out loud constantly throughout the day, breathe, breathe. I've got friends and colleagues and everyone, they tease me all the time because everybody says breathe, and that's a good thing because I know that they're hearing me when I say to breathe. So make sure that you're breathing. That's going to be one of the most elemental things to helping with your stress. Secondly, give yourself permission. Really give yourself the permission to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. There's anxiety and stress. Just don't stay stuck in that. Don't stay stuck in that moment. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, but you don't need to let that overwhelm you and hold you in that space. Take a second, take a breath, and see if you can't reset yourself. Set yourself on a purpose. When things start to get really, really crazy, and this happens to all of us, if you happen to be in an extremely stressful situation, try to pare down your time. So when I say that, I mean we start trying to get ahead of ourselves throughout the day in terms of, oh my gosh, I have to be here and I have to do this and I have to then this and this and this, and you're hours ahead. Keep your time. Go in 30-minute blocks if you have to. Sometimes you just have to get from 12 o'clock to 12:30. Sometimes, if that gets to be too overwhelming still, you get from 12:30 to 12:45. And if that gets to be too much, break it down to 5-minute span. I just need to get from right now to 5 minutes from now, from 12:30 to 12:35, 12:40 to 12:45. Eventually, today will end, and tomorrow will bring you another day. And tomorrow is most certainly going to be a better day. So having a positive outlook is going to help, and sometimes you can't. But I can assure you, everybody's heard the old adage, Mama said there'd be days like this, and there's going to be days like this. And there are going to be days that are worse than this. But you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. You're going to breathe, and you're going to make it, okay? So give yourself some positive thoughts, and just make sure that you make your stress manageable. If you've got to bring it down to just a few minutes at a time, bring it down to a few minutes at a time. Don't let yourself get too bogged down with too many things at once. That's really what builds a crazy amount of stress. Exercise. If you're feeling really overwhelmed, I don't care if you're in solitary confinement, you can literally run in place. You can do some motion, some movement. I happen to have rheumatoid arthritis, and that affects my entire body, so I can no longer do all of the physical activities that I'm used to doing. I love to dance, but I can't always dance when I want to. I love, love, love weight workouts, but I can't do that all the time. But the one thing that I can do is walk. And when I can't walk, I'll just move my arms, or I'll move my feet. And when I can't do that, I have someone do that for me. But have some motion. So don't just stay sedentary the whole time. Don't sit in a chair and watch TV. If you're out of work, if you're at home alone, if you just don't have anything to do, don't let yourself sit for long periods of time. Come up with some kind of routine where you have to get up. If you can, walk up and down stairs. If you live in an apartment, go outside and take a walk from one end of the apartment building to the other. If you have stairs in the apartment, walk upstairs and come downstairs. Even if you do it once a day. If you can do it once a day, then you can do it twice a day. If you can do it twice a day, you can do it 3 times a day. But just start off with one step. It's literally one foot in front of the other. So exercise. Find some simple form of exercise. Now, I happen to know that Teresa is excellent at motivating people, and she's got a plethora of ways to help you with your exercise program. So if you don't have any ideas, hit her up. Send her a message. I know she's got an Instagram. She's got a Facebook page. Ask her. She's a fantastic resource, and she'll help you find an exercise that's suitable for you. Everybody is not going to be a bike rider. Everybody's not going to be a runner. Everybody's not going to be a swimmer. Everybody's not going to have weights. And oh, by the way, if you have a can in your house, you've got weights. My grandmother never went to a gym, and my grandmother literally made her own weights, sometimes from cans, from books. She would tie strings around it. We don't have to do that anymore. I'm sure that Teresa will help you come up with a really good mechanism to get some exercise. So find a way to move your body. So now we have a couple of things. You can breathe, you can pare your time down, and you can exercise, okay? Those are 3 things that everybody has access to. I don't care who you are. It doesn't require a ton of money. All it requires is you putting the effort into it. So don't think in terms of I need to go to a gym and I need to go to a therapist. And those are all really great, fine things. And yes, when I have the opportunity to do that, I will do that as well. But I have also been in places where I haven't had the resources, the financial resources, the time. Let's talk about that. Because every patient that comes into here, my office tells me, I just don't have time. And I'm here to tell you, yes, you do. There are 24 hours in every day. And as much as I would like to get 25 hours or 24 hours and a half or 24 hours and 10 minutes, there's a finite amount of time in every day. But the reality is that we get to pick and choose what we're going to do in that time. Don't kid yourself. Don't let anybody tell you, oh my gosh, I have to work. The President of the United States, like him, love him, hate him, whatever it is, he's the president. He's still the busiest person on this planet. And he finds time to go golfing. My dad told me, my grandmother would tell me this when I was younger, you have to find time for yourself. Even the president takes time to decompress, do something other than worry and stress and work. You're not working 24 hours a day. Your children have to sleep at some point. Your partner has to sleep at some point. At some point, you have time. So carve out, make it a priority. What you don't do is make a priority out of what your need is. So I'm telling you right now, Dr. Ortiz is here to tell you, make your life a priority. Take the time that it takes to give yourself 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. However long you can get. If you can get 15 minutes, give yourself 15 minutes. If you can get 30, and I get it. I have patients from all walks of life, so I understand. I have people who have lots of financial resources, and they have people who watch their children, and I have single moms with 2, 3, sometimes 4 children, and they've got 2 jobs, and they still have to find time for themselves. Even if it means sitting on the toilet a little bit longer. And I'm not recommending that you sit on the toilet too long, because that gives you a whole bunch of other health issues. But you can put the top down and sit on the toilet and just get away from everybody for 5 minutes. Which leads me into the next thing of meditation, right? You don't have to be an expert at meditating. You don't have to really study yoga or do any of these things. Today, as we sit here right now, there are a number of apps and free apps. COVID has created the need for this, and for whatever reason, and I'm sure they're getting something out of it, many companies are offering free apps where you can follow along with meditation. And again, I'm guessing that Teresa can help you with that as well. I can do that as well. I have some meditation tapes and some things that I do, but I'm sure Teresa will help you with that. So lastly, I want to say, because we can go on and on and on, is utilize your resources. I just mentioned Teresa. I will give Teresa access to me. You can have a number that you can reach me at. I have an Instagram page. You can send me a message through the Instagram page. If you have questions, I'm always willing to help folks out. If I can't help you, I'll get you to a resource that can help you. But the point is, there's lots that we can do. So, stop making excuses. That means you. Stop making excuses. Find time. Make the time. You don't have to find it. It's there. Make the time to take care of yourself. Breathe. Relax your shoulders and breathe. And find a time to change your life by de-stressing. I just gave you a few tips, and they're just a handful of handy tips, but they're all doable for everybody. Yes, there's lots of other resources, and I can help you out with other more sophisticated things, but just those simple things will help you to reduce your level of stress. We didn't talk about diet, and I'm just going to hit on diet very briefly. Diet plays a huge role in our anxiety and our mental capacity and what we're doing. And you don't have to spend a lot of money to eat correctly. Diet is an entirely another video. We can speak on diet forever, and I can do hour-long seminars. But just understand that what you put in your body is what comes out of your body. And when I say comes out of your body, I mean mind, body, and soul. So if you put unhealthy things into your body, you're going to make your soul unhealthy. You're going to make your physical body unhealthy. You're going to make your mind unhealthy. And I'm not speaking of eating perfectly, because I'm not a perfect human being. I'm talking about eating a little bit better. So on the diet tip, I'm just going to ask you to do one thing. Everybody says, I'm eating great. Learn to eat well for yourself, and I can help you with that. If you'd like to have a consultation, you'll have access to my information, and I can definitely talk to you about specific diet plans for you individually. But how about we just drink some more water? Lots of people talk about drinking water, but they don't do it. You don't have to drink a gallon a day all at once. Just walk around with a bottle and sip on it all day long. Yes, I know that person. I'm looking at you right now. That person is saying, I hate water. I can't stand the way water tastes. Well, then find a way to make that water taste better. There are stevia sweeteners, there are herbal sweeteners, there's fruits, there's herbs. Some people like mint leaves in their water, basil water. Be creative. Watermelon, I know we're going out of fruit season, but there's wonderful herbs to change the flavor of your water. Find a way to make it work. Water is medication. Water is the most wonderful substance in the world. It can carry ships, it can freeze, it can be a gas, it can save your life. Your body is mostly made of water. This earth is mostly made of water. So make use of water. I can't tell you how many people I see that don't drink water and don't breathe. So breathe, 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 drink water, and utilize your resources. Thank you for this time. I hope that these few words have been helpful to you. And please reach out to Teresa. She's an amazing, amazing source. She inspires me every day. I look to her Instagram, especially when I'm feeling a little bit down, because she's got this amazing, amazing energy. And by the way, she walks the walk. And there's nothing better than somebody who actually does it. She's not a perfect human being, but every time I see her, she's finally made a way to make it work. And that's all I'm asking you to do. Find a way to make your life a little bit better. De-stress. Thank you, and have a fantastic day.